Wait, are we doing a podcast?
Are we doing?
Wait, what are you talking about?
You know
We're
what really
recording?
grinds
This
my
is a podcast.
gears?
Welcome to episode 68, folks.
How did I find this Skype call?
68. Episode 68. You know what that means?
There's voices.
We
in
are
my
one
head.
more episode away from
Mommy.
episode 69, folks.
Who's this guy talking?
In my head.
Who's these
Who called us?
Where are we?
Folks, we'd like to welcome you to episode 68 of Ripping the Rack podcast. We are the longest running weekly episodic podcast in regards to Candlepin Bowling on the interwebs today. Not saying tomorrow, but today.
All the webs?
All the webs.
All the
All
webs.
the webs guy.
Right, guys. All right, guys.
Could be today. I'm going to start on my left. He could be on your right. He could be up. He could be down.
Depends.
He is a Coastal Crusader. He is
Who's
Brian
got
Ather.
the pens?
What's
He's
going
got the
on,
pens?
everybody?
What's happening to this Off the Rails podcast?
Just chilling out here at the coastal compound.
The
There you
coastal
go.
compound. Easy
Oh.
there, Bray Wyatt.
On top. He could be on your bottom. He could be on your right. He could be on your left. He could be all over the damn place. He is the King of the North, Calvin Locke.
I am all over the place.
He's just everywhere, dude.
Left and right and up and down and
Some
Exactly.
people go both ways.
Well, I've heard
that
that.
way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he is on the bottom, per usual, but he could be on the top, or he could be on the right or left. He could be all over the place on this thing. Who the hell knows? He is our resident masshole, Marky Pins. Mark Ritchie, how are you, buddy?
Not bad, big fella. How we doing tonight, boys?
I am, it's a Monday.
I mean, I found this
Yeah.
Skype call randomly. I might as well finish the podcast. I have no idea what we're doing here, but let's do something.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And for those of you wondering who the hell is doing the talking right now, I don't know
nobody
where I
likes
am on
to
your.
introduce
I have no idea where I am. I could be up. I could be down. I could be right. I could be left. Who the hell knows where I am? My name is Tim. How you
You're
doing, Tim?
here.
Dude, I am doing great. Thanks for asking. Oh, you're welcome. Hope you had a great day. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that.
He's lost it, guys.
He's having a Gimdadero moment.
Yeah.
Tim. Tim.
Wait,
Can
I
you
hear
us?
I hear voices.
Tim,
We're
come
talking
back.
to the person inside Tim.
Go to the light, Carol Ann. Come back. Come back. Fuck Carol Ann.
Oh my God! You guys can tell the show is off the rails already.
Oh, this is the bowling show. This isn't Friday. Shit.
Oh, what?
Yeah, this is a bowling show, folks. We actually have to be kind of serious.
Oh,
Oh, no.
I'm kidding.
Oh,
I'm
no.
kidding.
I'm out of
Totally.
Oh, no. Oh,
No,
no.
no,
Oh,
no.
All right, fine.
So anyway, let's talk bowling. Specifically, let's talk candlepin bowling.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
All right. Just a tiny segue before we get into all the fun. Since most of our listeners are bowlers, most of my friends on my Facebook are bowlers. We're not a political show, but I'm going to say this because something happened to me this week and it kind of hit a little close and it kind of really bothered me. And if you want to ask me about it, you can. Guys, if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it off the air, and I'm not going to get into details.
Okay.
But, guys, we're in the middle of a pandemic. We have two spectrums of minds where it's vaccinated, unvaccinated. There is no need for name calling, pressuring, bullying of any kind with somebody who has the opinion that they don't need to be vaccinated or someone has the opinion that they do need to be vaccinated. This is a serious thing, and it's divided our world, and it's terrible right now.
Yes, it is.
So and everybody knows me. I'll pick on anybody and I'll let them pick on me. It doesn't bother me one bit. But what bothers me is just the constant bullying on our Facebooks, because I'm talking to you guys. The amount of people who post stuff and then they just get attacked and berated, and this is all false, and it doesn't matter what you think. This is somebody's opinion. They're allowed to post on it. They don't need to be bullied or harassed or told what to do. Everybody needs to live their own lives, and we need to start respecting each other in our personal views and on even our personal Facebooks. There's no need for it anymore. Yes, we pick on each other all the time. And like I said, I'm on Facebook all the time making fun of Marky's bowl and making fun of Tim's head. Like, it's fine. But I'm.
Wait,
but I'm,
my bowling and Tim's head are both shit? Wait a minute. What?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
it's like an orange on a toothpick.
Did you get it? I know.
Toothpick.
But the insulting and
Two
telling
toothpicks.
people how to live their lives it's just not right anymore. And I just want, because people are listening to me, stop it. It's just terrible. It's rude.
Amen.
It's disrespectful.
Calvin, I agree with you, and I hate to do this. I agree with you 100%. I can't stand it when I actually agree with Calvin. It's okay to have a difference of opinions on a lot of things. It's okay to have a difference of opinion with regards to vaccination versus not vaccination. I don't have to agree with your opinion. Either way. And if people truly want to know how I feel, I'll tell you right now, I am vaccinated. My wife is vaccinated. My kids are vaccinated. It was a personal choice that we made, irregardless or regardless or whatever that frickin' word that people hate that is actually in the dictionary. It's still a word, irregardless. But anyway, your opinion, Brian, your opinion, Calvin, Marky, anybody, your opinion is your opinion. You have a right to your opinion. I'm not going to say that I'm right, that you're wrong, or that you're right, or that I'm wrong, or whatever it is.
Right.
And the whole fact is I don't know in the history of evers if someone has changed their opinion by being told that they're wrong on Facebook.
I'm willing to bet never.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a no on that one.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't see the need for it. I don't. Do I make fun of people on Facebook? Sure do. I do. I have fun with it.
Not
It's
about whether
humor.
or not they got the shot or not.
No,
That's
and I'm
different.
not and I'm not
That's
talking about just
about
vaccination. I'm not talking about vaccination. It's good. I just use that as an example because right now that's the hot button topic.
Right.
That Calvin had just talked about. You see it all over the place. It has created an ugly, ugly world right now.
Very.
very much.
Mm-hmm.
Very.
Those of you on Facebook on Candlepin Chat that have seen the video at Bolarama that Andrew had to deal with.
Yeah, the other night. That was disgusting.
That was disgusting. I was at a restaurant a couple weeks ago. My wife and I were at a restaurant, and there was someone making a scene. I mean, we couldn't quite hear it, but it wasn't. But you could see that they were very heated about stuff, and the server was just like, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, people have become very ugly in how they deal with people.
Yes.
And it needs to stop.
This outrage culture. Nothing
Yes.
can be a little deal that you just work out. It's like everybody needs that dopamine shot that they get on Facebook when they trounce somebody. And then you're in real life, and now you feel like you have to go above and beyond what would be normal, everyday discourse between two people, whether or not it's happy or angry. We got to tone that down. We got to come back to where things used to be. It's not all about how loud you yell. You can yell as loud as you want, and if it's all diarrhea coming out of your mouth, all it does is stink. You could speak very, very softly, but like FDR said, speak softly, but carry a big stick. You don't have to yell and scream at somebody, but you can get your point across with good, solid discussion, and that's been lost. That's a big thing that's been lost. And this vaccination versus non, it's just entirely too polarizing. And I'll tell you this much, a lot of people never said something to somebody's face and got their teeth punched down their throat, and it shows. Because when we were growing up, you said things like the things that people say on Facebook, you got your teeth punched down your throat by the wrong person. And too many people say that stuff online nowadays, and it shows the people who have and have never had their teeth punched down their throat.
There's a lot of keyboard warriors out there.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not saying it's not just about the vaccination. It's been going on, at least here in the United States, it's been going on for years. It started, really started when Obama took office.
You're right.
Things got ugly. It really, really started when Trump took office. It got ugly. And it's even worse with Biden in office. And I'm not saying it's worse because he's in office. I'm saying it has gotten progressively worse every freaking year. And I miss the days of, and I told someone that this weekend, I miss the days of before Facebook, before there was the Facebook and social media, because I didn't know what Brian's ideology was unless he and I had a conversation, face-to-face conversation.
Yeah.
I didn't know what Calvin believed unless we had a face-to-face conversation. Now that's taken out of context, and now you have Facebook conversations with people where you become a keyboard warrior because, well, fuck it, I'm not going to see them. They live 3,000 miles away.
Exactly.
So I'm going to say whatever the hell I want, and yet the algorithm is going to show me what Calvin said because he's a friend of mine on Facebook. So the algorithm is going to pick everything up. I just miss the days of
the thing that was supposed to unite us the most with social media. We'd always be in as much touch as possible. And for a long time, it worked.
Yep.
When it was new and it was fresh, it worked. But it's turned into one of the biggest societal cancers that we've seen in a very, very long time.
Yep. Maybe it's my age, but I just remember being told when I was younger, and I mean when I was a kid, that there were things that you didn't discuss in public or with people.
Right.
You didn't discuss your political views. Who you voted for was never discussed.
No,
and that was told. You never ask a woman's her age. And you never ask who someone voted for or her weight.
Ever.
And you never ask who someone voted for. That was always behind closed doors. You did not have that discussion. And here we are, now I'm 50 years old. So here we are 40 years later. It's So, Brian, you were going to say something. I think I might have interrupted you, and I apologize if I did. It looked like you were about to say something when I started talking. So
I don't know. I can't remember. So I guess not.
But, however, one good thing about Facebook, it has brought all of me to you and bowling tournaments and everything. So it has its bads, but yes, it has its goods.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes. I remember now. So I am an original adopter of Facebook, and I can remember when it originally started back in 2004, and it was just for college kids, and it was a way to keep in touch with your friends when you went to school.
Yeah, because that's what it was, right?
Or to communicate with new people on campus where you went to school, so you could network.
Yeah,
I really feel like when they opened it to everyone, it started to suck.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Remember when the biggest problem was what was on your MySpace background?
Yeah.
Like,
who your top 6 friends were?
Yeah,
right.
Top 6 friends. It's top 5,
MSN
man.
Logo, what your MSN logo was?
Right. Remember?
Yeah.
Wow.
Your away message was on AIM.
I was about to say your away message on Instant Messenger. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm away. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Heart XO. Love you, baby.
And Calvin, I thank you for bringing that up. I know that we are not a political talk show. We never will be a political talk show, podcast, or anything else. But this goes beyond politics and bowling and everything else.
This is beyond political. This is getting to be, it started political. Now it's getting to be all of society. And within the little cultures that permeate society, and our little culture of Candlepin Bowling permeates society in our own circles. And we've seen it with our bowling friends, one side or the other. And it's starting to develop allegiances and enemies within a game's little subculture. Like, come on, we got to get past. We got to.
And again, I will say my choice to get vaccinated was my choice. It wasn't. I wasn't pressured into getting it. I did my own research, and it's funny when I say this because when I say I did my own research, it means I talked to my doctor about it. I didn't go on YouTube. I didn't go on Google. I didn't go online and do research and watch YouTube videos that, who knows, I talked to my doctor about it.
I'm a little different. I talk to my wife about it, but that's what she does. She understands how all this stuff works.
Seeking firsthand information as
Yeah.
opposed to repurposed and republished
Yeah.
videos on some random person's YouTube or some
Yeah.
mysterious website that somebody linked to their Facebook page in a post.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily
Yeah.
decent scientific research. You start at the place where it begins, and these are the doctors and the scientists. And if you know somebody in that field, those are the people
Yeah.
that.
And again, I'm not. I hope whoever's listening to this that does research online, I hope they understand that I'm not knocking them for that, especially if they're doing true research.
Right. Which is looking at many different peer-edited, scientifically published papers.
Yes.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
That's what I did. I went to the scientific journals. I went beyond the Facebook posts.
Right.
And went to the actual doctors' pages, scientific pages.
Yes.
Where the medical journals are published, and read these things made by people that have like DR after their name. Like those are important little, or MD after their name. Those are important little things to look for, not YT or TTV for Twitch TV. No, we don't need to look for those. Those aren't the ones where you're getting your pertinent information.
Yeah.
All right.
So thank you, Calvin. Again.
Yes.
Appreciate it. And we'll talk off air because I am curious what happened. So we'll
international dialogue right there.
Yeah. Well, well, but that brings that's the other thing is that I do have friends that live overseas. The beauty of online, and the fact is that I've joined in the previous incantation of online. I was on a bunch of Vegas message boards when you truly had message boards.
Yeah.
Before Facebook came along, it was like Vegas.com, which was a huge message board, had like 20,000 members. I mean, at one point, I spent a lot of time on there, made a lot of friends around the world. I still keep in touch 20 plus years later with a lot of these people, and I'm friends with them. And every once in a while, I'll get a message from someone that lives overseas and be like, dude, did this really happen over there? Like, this is what we're hearing. And the fact of the matter is the United States, and specifically the United States, is becoming a very much a laughingstock around the world. And it's because of how we're acting, not because of who's president, not because of who's in Congress, not because of anything other than the people, the keyboard warriors. And maybe I'm at fault. Maybe I'm a keyboard warrior at times too, but
no, not even close.
I want people to understand.
And being a keyboard warrior, two separate things. It matters how you conduct yourself while you're engaging other people.
Yeah.
That's
there's intelligent discussion and debate, and then there's being an asshole.
Correct.
Yeah.
And they're on opposite extremes.
Yeah.
Opposite ends of the extreme.
So I mean, it's an important topic, and obviously, for Candlepin Bowling, it's an important topic, especially up in Canada, because of some of the things that are going on up there with not just the border stuff, but the fact is, like, Fairlane's making the decision to, only allow vaccinated people into the building. You will have some bowling alleys that are like, everyone's welcome, but you got to wear a mask, or you can only have X amount of people there, or whatever it is. Understand that businesses have to make the decision for their business.
They're private businesses.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily agree with what Fairlanes is doing. I'm not living up there. I don't live in Moncton. I don't live in Canada. I'm not going to speak about it other than saying, from my point of view, I don't necessarily agree with it.
Yeah.
All I know is if I did that at Riverwalk, I can't tell you how much business I'd lose. I can't tell you how much business I would lose if I said you have no choice but to provide proof of a vaccination when you walked in. First of all, you're taking somebody else's choice out of their lives in order for them to come and entertain themselves. And secondly, who am I in these people's lives?
Yeah. So, Mark, let me ask you this as a proprietor, because when you have to, now, granted, there are some things that you didn't really have a choice on, like the whole mask thing several months ago.
Yes.
You didn't really have that choice. The government, mandated.
The city stepped in
the
and
city
told us
stepped
what
in
we
and told-
could do and could not. Yes.
So, do you think, as a proprietor, that the government, whether it's a city, state, federal, whatever it is, should be mandating what you can do as a proprietor?
No.
What's your take on that?
As a business owner, I've and anybody else that has their name on a business license, this is my opinion.
Yes,
We'll
yes.
read this as my opinion.
Yes.
But as a man who's been running his own business now for almost 10 years, for me to tell people what they should be able to do on the outside before they come into my place should not be right. I'm taking their choice away. For the government to have to tell businesses that they have to tell people to do this is also wrong, because now you're putting me in the spot of being the governor's or the government's messenger. And now I have to relay their message, regardless of whether or not I believe it or I don't. You're putting the business owner who's paying the government fees and everything every year. I have to pay business fees every year. I have to pay my taxes. I have to pay to renew my license and everything else in my business. I'm paying you to have a business, and now you're telling me what I have to do in my business. That leaves trust to the business owner out of it, that the business owner would handle what is best for him or her and their business and him or her family as it relates to the business. If they want to introduce mandates for themselves in their public spaces, that's fine. But we as business owners, again, I'm not sure how it works in Canada. I'm sure it's similar, but I have to pay yearly to keep a business open and to have a business in my name. So that means that you trust me as a government to run a business in the city that I'm registered in. The city's government trusts me. Why do you not trust me to do the right thing in my business, for my business, and for your city? Because regardless of what they say, it doesn't matter. They're still going to come looking for their taxes. They're still going to come looking for their licensing fees. And now they're going to come and look to tell me what to tell the public to do. I don't believe that's right. Personally, I don't believe that's right. I got my shot because I do work in the public. Regardless of my political views, I believe in the science of the situation. I understand how vaccinations work, and vaccinations save lives, period. However, I do not take your particular choice out of the equation. That is how I feel. I feel if I work with the public, I should have a second level of responsibility, not just to my own family, but to the public, the people that come into my establishment trying to have a good time. So if I got that vaccination out of choice, you have to leave that up to the people for choice. And if they didn't get vaccinated, then it's on them in their own personal lives. I'm not telling you yes, I'm not telling you no, but at the same time, when you come into my place, just be responsible for yourself. That's all. So far, we have had, from what I understand, from my understanding, and they've done contact tracing and everything, we've had zero walk in or out of my bowling alley. Zero. Knock on wood.
Yep.
And I'm very happy about that, that nothing has come back, but everything has been zero. We sanitize, we clean, we do all the right things. Even after they said you don't have to, I still take the effort and do it once a week and make sure that everything gets cleaned up and ready to go.
I think the whole sanitizing thing, I think that's here to stay.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I'm okay with it.
Anyway, because the little booger kids, the little booger eaters that come in, they're putting the snotties and everything, and you've sat in a bowling alley seat for more than 10 seconds. Right? We get swassy, and you get sweat all over the seat. So just go in and sterilize it. Maybe that's a good practice that's going to come out of this whole thing.
I hope so.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. That's fine.
I've noticed a lot more people with their carts back at the grocery store now. So that's another plus that's coming out of it.
Yeah, I've always done that anyway. That's always been a pet peeve of mine. I see people in a grocery store parking lot, and they just throw the carriage over there. The thing's 5 parking spots away from
what's funny is the only place that I don't do that I don't put it back in, is if I park in the first row, like at Walmart. And the only reason I don't put it back in the cart corral is because Angie's grandmother, who was handicapped, used to love it when people would leave a cart right there, because that was near where the handicap were. And she was, I don't have to walk all the way over to grab a cart. I don't have to walk all the way in. I can get it right here. And I always thought of that. Always thought of that she appreciated when people would leave. Now, I'm not saying when you park next to the car corral and you just put it up and,
Yeah, but now Tim, people are going to start just putting carts in handicap spaces.
It's not in the it's not in the space itself.
Well, come on now. You know some of the people that we know that listen to this.
That's true. That's true.
Ugh.
Kids, don't do crack.
That's right.
Thanks, LT.
LT said it best. Thank you.
So
Yeah.
let's move
Let's
on
talk
from the
bowling.
political thing as we're 25 minutes in, and let's talk bowling.
But I'm glad we addressed it for a little bit. I'm glad we addressed that.
Yeah.
Now we can move.
So results from this past weekend, you had the international national mixed doubles in Augusta. Unfortunately, had a couple of teams back out last minute, so we ended up with 22 teams. So 2 divisions of 11. Congratulations to Mark Carrier and Kerrigan Skinner on running the gauntlet and making it all the way through and winning. They ended up beating Mike McGinty and Shannon Scribner in the final. Some highlights. Tim did not quit, so there's a highlight.
There you go. There you go.
Dude, it was coming. I'll say it in front of everyone. I bowled the first 5 strings of any tournament I bowled, I think, in 30 years. I was 536 for 5 in a house that, number 1, is my favorite house to bowl in, and number 2, the pins were flying.
Yeah.
Okay. 536. And it's all me. It wasn't the ball's fault. It wasn't my shoes. The sun didn't get in my eyes.
It wasn't too hot. It wasn't
too hot. It wasn't too cold. It wasn't too humid. It wasn't too dry. No.
The porridge was just right.
The porridge was just right, and Tim
dropped it on the floor.
Sucked.
He dropped it on the floor.
The big one.
Yeah. So I was 536 my front 5, and then went 680 my back 5, and 396 to finish off the 13 strings. So
You finished strong.
I have no idea the change. I couldn't tell you. I think honestly what I did was I did slow down just a bit. I think I really was rushing everything. I don't know why. Probably because I was just so fucking pissed at how I was bowling.
I was going to say, it sounded like Gim Dodaro showed up for the first 5 games.
Yeah. Gim Dodaro definitely showed up.
The guy's an asshole.
He
really is.
He's a tool.
I can't wait to tell him that someday.
Let's see. Kerrigan Skinner had the high string for the women. She was 175, I think.
Wow.
Something like that. Very first string of the tournament. Craig Holbrook then followed that up next string with a 174, which was kind of fun.
Really impressive.
Yep, for the men. And yes, Craig is a man, but the high single was actually Mark Weber with a 186, narrowly edging out Mike McGinty, who had a 185. I did not, even though I did have one half that was bigger than one of my strings in the first 5, so that was nice.
Congratulations. Question mark.
Yes.
Question mark.
I think slow clap.
Oh no, it's definitely a slow clap.
Congratulations on the new high half.
Yeah.
New high 5.
High 5.
536. Good job, Tim.
That was. It was ugly. It just I get no other words other than it was ugly. To a point where I almost threw my balls in the Kennebec and never set foot in the bowling alley again.
You've probably done us all a favor.
I know.
Don't throw him in the river. I'd have at least bought him off you and resold him at Riverwalk.
Congratulations again to Mark and Kerrigan. They bowled well in the playoffs. Thank you, Mike and Leanne, Mona, Tom Pelkey for doing the scoring. The staff, they did a great job. Food was fantastic. No breakdowns at all the entire weekend that I can think of.
Awesome.
I don't think they had one single breakdown. Again, pins were going, which is all you ask for is consistent scoring.
Yep.
So that was good. That was
excellent. Good. I'm glad it all went well.
Yep. Upcoming tournaments. Give one last real push. Pro Series doubles, September 11th in Portsmouth at the Bowlarama. right now, two shifts, noon and 2. The 2 o'clock is full. They do have some open spots on noon. If they fill it, they will have a 10 a.m. shift as well. So that will be 2 different, shifts, and then the playoffs directly after. September 12th, the Exeter Mixed Team Tournament. That is full, but it's, again, cool tournament. You have September 19th, Sunday the 19th. Alfie has the Candlepins for Cancer roll-off for his TV, I guess YouTube taping. That is at Academy Lanes. I don't know what time. Do you guys know what time by some chance?
I don't remember.
I don't. I know it's on Candlepin Chat.
Yeah, check Candlepin Chat for information on that. More information coming soon. I talked to Rusty Neely at Stars and Strikes. He is going to start back up his taping.
The
ladder matches that we did, Facebook Live and stuff. Yes, we still have the SD card. Yes, eventually we are going to get a chance to get to that. Stay tuned. Probably sometime in October, maybe November. He knows it's really busy with tournaments, so he doesn't want to interfere with what's already out there. Marky, he'd love for you to come up if you can do it.
No, yeah, I had to miss that other one that night, but I'm definitely coming up for the next one that I can possibly get up there for. I like bowling at that place. Very comfortable lanes, very comfortable house to bowl in.
Yep. And then I guess the last 2 I have, and then Outrun the Bear. That is September 25th, Saturday, September 25th in Millis. That is a scratch singles event, folks. This is not handicapped. It is scratch. Right now, there are 67 people signed up. Guaranteed $1,500 to the winner. If they can get 80, I think they will guarantee either 2 or 2,500. I can't remember, either 2,000 or 2,500. So
good payday.
Good payday. A lot of fun. I was hoping to bowl in it this year, but not going to get the chance. So I'll get hopefully the next one. And then, of course, Chicha, the Chicha National Championships. Those are down to the finals, I think, or the semifinals in the men and the finals in the women.
Yeah,
The
something like
final
that.
4 in the women, and the final 8 in the men.
Yeah, and then he just put out there the Chicha Rose. That's going to be knockout style tournament. 2 men, 1 woman per team. Matches will be randomly drawn for round 1. Each bowler will bowl 3 games. Cost per entry is $375 for the team. Losing team pays for the strings. They're hoping to get 24 teams for this. Round 1 will be held at Portsmouth Bowl-O-Rama. Round 2 will be held at Exeter Lanes, pending Rob's approval. And rounds 3 and 4, if needed, will be randomly drawn from the houses used in the Chicha lifespan. So when you get your team, message Cheech to sign up, and there'll be a $75 deposit due upon sign up. The rest will be due in October. So
Cool.
That's going to be our own show itself. Is going to be, ripping the rack tournaments. Here we go.
Yeah. No, but that's a good rundown of everything that's coming up pretty soon. Oh, and I want to plug real quick. King of the River at Riverwalk Lanes is starting back up the Sunday after Labor Day. So that is the 13th, I believe. Sunday, September 13th. 9:30 in the morning. It's a 100% handicap tournament. $30.
September 12th.
Is that the 12th?
12th.
Yes, the 12th. I'm sorry. Yes, 12th. Sunday, September 12th. 9:30 in the morning. It's 100% handicap. $30 a week. There was a points chase that goes towards the end of the year to the King of Kings tournament, where everybody that walks in the door is guaranteed at least $50 in an envelope. And then we bowl a regular King of the River, and first prize will be worth anywhere from $500 to, like it was last year, I believe it was close to $700 to the winner of the tournament of the day.
Wow.
So it's a season-long points chase, much like the Pro Series. You get points based on how you bowl. But it's $30 a week. There's side pools on the side, and if you make the knockout round every week, you do get paid.
Oh, wow.
So come see me on Sunday mornings. I'm exhausted. I'm cranky. I'll be until I have coffee, but I'll be there.
Selling point.
Thank you.
Good. Great selling point.
I give it to you straight. You like it or you don't. That's the way it's going to be. You're going to walk in Sunday, 9:20. I'm a cranky bastard until I get a cup of coffee in me. So I'm just letting you all know, but it's a good tournament. We have a good time. There's a lot of shitting around. But, yeah, come on up.
Calvin.
Stop.
What do you got for Canadian stuff?
Canadian, we got some real bad, shitty, stupid news.
Okay.
Yeah. The new premier of Nova Scotia decided he wanted to put a mandate that anybody from New Brunswick going into Nova Scotia unvaccinated has to isolate for 2 weeks.
What?
Yeah, because of the rising number of cases in New Brunswick, which we're getting like 10 or 13 a day.
Yeah, that's
Oh
yeah.
my God.
They locked
Yeah.
down all of New Zealand for one. So
I
it's-
know. Well, New Zealand didn't have any throughout the whole thing, really, so that was why they pretty well locked it down. But yeah, so unfortunately, I believe that takes out both of the New Brunswick teams, as they both had people who were unvaccinated or could not be vaccinated in time for the tournament had
okay.
they already gotten their one vaccination. So I believe they're down to 8 teams, which is rather unfortunate.
Which means it probably will.
Probably just going to cancel it.
Yeah.
I would assume.
Yeah.
Unless they just do bowl each other twice and, winner takes all or something. I don't think they'll ever do that because they always like to spread out the money in Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you want to have a tournament, you have something like that. But I don't 100% know for sure. I know my team is out. We had to drop out because 2 or 3 of our bowlers can't get across because they have to isolate for 2 weeks. Yeah.
Again, we're not going to get political on the show. I just.
No, that baffles me. I just don't.
I don't understand.
No, it just doesn't make any sense to me. But that was the decision from their premier, so there's nothing we can do about it, unfortunately.
So, okay. All right.
So we might be taking our team down to Fredericton for Corey's tournament, which is essentially the same day, and throw 5 or 6 more people at his tournament.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, it is what it is. But
and for November, what do you got?
November, we have our mixed, but we are right in this moment not sure on a location because Fairlanes has mandated that a mandatory vaccination, double vaccination, like proof. So right now we're up in the air because if they possibly change, because we don't really want to jump ship on them already because we already got the manager he's already said, yes, those are yours, do as you please, stuff like that, and it's like good stuff. So we don't really want to jump ship right away, but if they continue to keep the mandatory vaccination, then we're going to move it to Fredericton, I believe. So
okay.
We'll see.
November tournament down here, the United States version of the World's tournament will be held at Leda Lanes. That will be the second week of November. I don't have the dates in front of me. I just know it's the second full week, I believe. You guys know right off the top of your head by some chance?
Usually it is the second full week. Do I even have a calendar on my phone? Maybe. There it is.
It'd be the 8th through the 13th.
Yeah. No confirmation of teams yet, but I did hear a rumor that they are expecting 18 teams for the week, which is, in my eyes, pretty damn impressive.
That would be good.
Wow.
I think that's more than we got last year.
Yeah, we had 12 last year, 11 or 12 last year.
Yeah, I think it was 12.
14.
When, last year?
Yeah, that was 14 teams.
I don't think so. I think it was 12.
I don't remember that.
Because
it was a world light.
Well, Portsmouth has what, 20 lanes, right? 22 lanes. 22 lanes. And we had a lane in between. They did it.
It was a pair between.
There was a pair of lanes and then so they had 10 teams?
Oh God, I don't know. I don't know.
Either way, 18 teams right now is the rumor. I don't know if that's true or not. I would hope. I hope so because that'd be cool.
Yep.
Get some people bowling in that may not, bowl in the actual World's tournament. Get that experience in. Would be pretty cool.
It is. It's a chance
Huh.
for somebody that might not ordinarily make a roster for the regular worlds that we normally perform.
Yep.
Get on there, make some noise, and who knows? Maybe next year when we do go back to, well, when we go back to normality with this thing, I mean, we're getting close with other things like leagues and other tournaments, but hopefully if we get the regular worlds back in the incarnation that we know it, that some of those people actually make a roster and actually take a smaller talent pool and make it bigger. That's what we've needed for so long. We keep hearing people tell other people, just bowl better, just bowl better. Well, here's an opportunity for some people to get into the big leagues and bowl better.
Yeah.
So,
So we were going to talk a little Friday Night Pro League, Pro Series, because that started up.
yes, it did. I was very happy that we all got to put the shirt on again. And
I don't have scores, but I do have. It looks like Central 1 defeated Sunnyside 1 8-0.
they did.
Riverwalk defeated Sunnyside 2 8-0.
We did.
A bad night for Sunnyside.
Yep.
It was.
Woburn defeated Central 2 8-0.
A lot of close matches here.
Central
Well,
3.
only 3 teams took 8.
Yeah,
The Central team, we did, and Barber, Surratt, Baker, and the Woburn.
Well, basically, the Woburn team is their world's team.
Yeah,
It is.
essentially.
Yeah,
And that's why they've been so successful
absolutely.
on Friday nights for years and years, because they bowl together constantly.
Yep.
At Worlds on
Yep.
Friday nights, they're a unit. They are
Yep.
not a group of guys. They are an absolute unit in the sense of the word.
Central 3 defeated Academy 1 6-2. Let's see, Academy 3. Oh, Academy 2 beat Academy 3 8-0.
They did.
That's what it says.
Guess you were wrong there, Maki.
It's
then,
happened before, and it'll happen again.
Yeah, and then Metro and Union Street split 4-4. Apparently there was 0 400s thrown. I don't know what the
Over under was on that.
I don't know. I don't know as if I would have had. I probably would have chosen at least a couple of 400s.
Maybe
But-
2.
But what do I know? I'm
Nothing,
just a
fair.
reader off of things on the internet. So, Marky, do you want to talk a little bit of Sunnyside and how things went down there? Because they had a couple of matches down there.
They did. We bowled
What we got?
Chicha, and we bowled. It was Cheech, Charlie Collins, young guy on the way up. I remember coaching the kid a few years ago down in the Woburn Bowlerdrome Kids League program there, and our good buddy Josh Daly. We had a hell of a match against them. Very low scoring. Was not very high. The head pin was the enemy in there. It didn't matter if it was the pocket or if it came in full. It was and one. It was absolutely ridiculous. But no, it was mostly a war of attrition that we had against them, and we outpinned them. We missed a lot, but they did too. We had a better third ball. More often than not, we had a significantly better third ball, and I'm telling you, kids, that's what wins you points at the top of the ladder. It really does. Hodgie's team, the 2 matches that I got to see were, on my match, and then Central and Sunnyside 1, which is Dennis Nuzzo's team. Nuzzo brought on a couple new guys, couple guys from Amesbury that I know from Riverwalk very well, Rob Brown and Justin Lyonnaise. Couple guys that are really trying to make some noise. Justin's young. He's like 25. He came to me at the beginning of the summer and was like, Mark, how do I get good? How do I get into this stuff? How do I get in the Friday Pro League? I'm done just doing house leagues. I want to move up. He's been coming in every week at Riverwalk. He's been practicing. Him and I sit down, shoot the shit. We talk about how to play wood. We talk about different things. And he's come along very well. That team's going to have a tough time. Dennis's Sunnyside 1 team always does have a tough time, and it will have a tough time again this year. But it's a good chance for some new guys to get some experience bowling on a team in the league, and just doing what you have to do to just be, try to stay competitive. But Hodgie's Central 1 team just put the screws to them, and they bowl very well. Mikey Smith bowled really well. We saw a Rich Lottie sighting. I don't know if you remember Rich Lottie, Tim. Do you remember? Have you ever heard of that name?
The name rings a bell.
He was a Melrose Malden guy, which is a little couple cities just barely west of Boston. I know him from bowling in a couple leagues with him, but he used to be on Stars and Strikes a lot when it was out of Leader Lanes. He was on that show quite a bit,
Okay.
but Dennis pulled him out of retirement. Him and Haji are really good buddies. I know that they had a match against each other. I think it was like 320 to 315. They were just laughing at each other too much. They were having fun, but the camaraderie was back. It was there. We bowled the Friday Pro League at Lita last year in that 3-man speed league. And yeah, it filled a void, but it did not fill the void. When we all came back, there were 4 teams at Sunnyside last Friday night. You could just feel that vibe was back. That thing that we've been missing for an entire year was back.
Good.
It was absolutely back. So it felt good, like I said, to put the team jersey on. It felt good to be in a crowded well with the other guys. It felt good to be back. It felt good to be back.
I am subbing on Metro. I have one date right now that I know I'm bowling. I think it's October 29th. So I'm looking forward to it. I've never had a chance to see or sub the Friday Night Pro League, so that'll be kind of neat.
Enjoy it, dude. It's a good time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know who they're bowling. I got the schedule. Hoagie sent me this. Apparently, it was listed somewhere. Sent me the list. I just haven't gone on to see who they're bowling. So I'm looking forward to it. Should be fun. I love following it. I watched, when they started live streaming it 2 years ago or whatever. I spent a lot of Friday nights sitting in my recliner watching. So I'm really looking forward to it. It'd be kind of cool. So
especially with those guys, Metro and those guys are all a bunch of clowns. They have a good time bowling.
Yeah.
They're shitting on each other the entire time, betting dollars against each other and stuff. Like, you'll have a good time with those guys.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I've never bowled at Metro, and I think that's where we are bowling. So one place I've always wanted to bowl. So let's do a quick, because we're already at 47 minutes. So let's take the next 5, 6, 7 minutes, whatever it is. Let's do a little Ripping the Rack podcast bowling preview.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. We don't have any lock letters, so we're not going to ask any questions this week.
Aw.
Sorry, Calvin.
Aw.
Ever since Calvin came on the show, nobody wants to give us any more lock letters.
Well, I'm wondering who sent all the damn letters.
Oops.
Maybe there were locks, letters.
Yeah.
So
I
had this idea, and then Brian, you really kind of took it a step further at the beginning, before we went live, when you were like, "Oh, we could do this like the Sports Illustrated."
Like the big baseball book you get every year.
Yeah.
It's got like the predictions of the division winners and who will win the awards. And I mean, there's no divisions, but we can do some predictions.
Well, we can do some predictions. So let's do this.
I'm saying right now, wait a minute, hold on. Before you start this, if you guys are going to do Friday night predictions, I'm staying out of it. I'm the captain of a team. I'm on
What's
a team.
the point?
I want to listen to what you guys who are not in the league want to say about the guys that are in the league. I want to hear.
Where do I find the rosters again?
The rosters are on. Crap! It was on. Cheech posted it on. Candlepin chat, I believe, at some point.
Everything's on Candlepin chat.
Everything.
No.
So I'm gonna start this. I'm gonna start this prediction preview with an over under in all of bowling, not just Friday. All leagues.
Tournaments.
All of
bowling. Oh, that's tough.
all of bowling, all leagues, all tournaments, in Canada and the U.S. on how many 200 strings will be thrown this year.
This year?
Yeah. This bowling season, which basically runs September, call it through May.
I'll say 1 at best.
Ooh, okay.
I think. I don't even think 1 will be thrown this year. I think it's been. No, I think there's been just too many people away from it for long enough. I don't think there'll be 1 this year. I think there'll be a couple close ones, like 196, something like that, but no 200s this year.
Okay. Marky.
I'm completely inclined to agree. I think there's too many guys that might have lost the muscle memory, or frankly, some of the houses are just not putting the work into the pins to make them move enough where 200s are going to be possible. A lot of the lanes down here, you can tell that there hasn't been much done because they've been having to save their money, myself included. And the last thing that we've been worrying about is conditioning pins for scoreability. So I'd have a very hard time believing that we're going to see a 200 anywhere. I'd be very hard pressed to see it. Maybe one when we bowl at Lita at the Worlds, but then again, with new pins, that's going to be its own task and a half. It'll depend on the conditions, but my guess is absolutely not.
Okay. Brian.
1. I think it's 1.
Okay, the next one.
I don't get to give a number.
No,
Okay.
I'm adding to what you're going to answer.
Okay.
1. If so, by who?
Oh God. I'm actually gonna say there's in the next year there'll be at least 2 thrown.
This season?
Yep.
Ooh.
Yep. After seeing some folks bowl up in Augusta this weekend, I think there are some folks that are just prime to throw their first 200. I think Josh Daly is one of them. I think he is primed and ready to throw one.
I think he has the best chance out of anybody because of how hard he throws and the ability he has to carry extra pins. Like, he throws hard enough where he does get the extra pins to break up splits to carry. And in a 200, it's not all about strikes. You do need to have a lot of makeable shots.
And he was one of the very few guys that were breaking up a lot of the splits at Sunnyside on Friday night. We were bowling against him. And he was one of the few guys that was breaking up 80% of the garbage that the rest of us were seeing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I believe so. I believe 2. I think Daly will get 1 this year. I think he'll get his first this year. I don't know who the second one will be. There's just honestly, you hear about people getting a 200 and you're like, the first thing is, who the hell's that person? Because there's always out, you know what I mean? There's always the one guy that comes out of nowhere and throws one. We saw it last year in the doubles in Bangor. Can't think of his name off the top of my head. Sedgwick? Is it Bob?
I think so. Yeah.
Out of Newport?
Yeah, he had a
207.
Yep.
Or something like that. Just out of nowhere. You just wouldn't have expected it. And there was one. So I'm going to say 2. And I think Daly's one of them. And I just don't know who the third one will, who the second one will be. As much as I'd love to say myself, I think my days of throwing 200s are over, and I'm okay with that.
Tim, are you just talking him up so that he'll keep listening to our podcast, or?
No, not in the least.
Honestly, Calvin.
I think he is, as much as his head is going to inflate even larger than it already is. I think he is right now. I think he's the best young bowler in the States right now, and I do, and I think he is arguably one of the top 5 bowlers, period, in the States right now. So,
good enough.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got next? That one took like 8 minutes.
Who's gonna have the overall highest average this year? Like who? All right, because we're getting near the end of it. Who's gonna be the bowler of the year out of everything? Who's gonna have the most success in what they bowl in?
Good.
Sean Baker. Sean Baker. I'm going out on a limb right now. Baker's gonna own the Friday Pro League this year.
Sean Baker. Right, I don't know if that's a limb, Marky. I think that's like half a branch.
If him and Fuller went neck and neck last year in the Friday Pro League at Lita, when every one of us was having a hard time, barely even averaging 115, these two guys were up duking it out at around 18.5, 19. The conditions were rough. I think Baker is going to have one hell of a year. Fuller is actually in the Friday Pro League this year for the very first time. He's bowling on my team. He came in this year, and I think he's poised for a hell of a year too to break out. But I really think this is going to be Baker's year. I think this is going to be Baker's year. It's been Surratt on top of the Friday Pro League for years. Surratt hadn't bowled much lately, and I'm not saying he's not going to be able to come up and kill it, but I just think that this is going to be Baker's like second breakout year because it's been a while since he went in and just owned a lot of things. I got a funny feeling he's just going to walk in and own it this year. I really do.
I'm picking John Winchell. I think Winchell's going to have, I know another stretch reach pick, right?
Real stretch that you guys.
Yeah.
No, but we got to pick somebody to be like number one. So that's
I just think he is one of the steadiest bowlers I've seen. Like he is always right there. Pretty much he hits his object pins a lot of the time. The conditions don't really matter to him when he's hitting everything he's aiming at. So I just think that he's poised this year to do something big. I think he might have a 200 string this year too.
Calvin?
About what?
Who's your pick to have their year this year? The best.
Oh God. The best year?
Yep.
Oh God.
Well, what about on the Canadian side then? The hell with down here.
Yeah, but we
live down here.
We don't really have anything going right now, so heck if I know.
That's kind of a good point.
Yeah,
too.
like heck if I know. Yeah, I don't
just say
know.
Gim Dodaro and we'll move on.
Sure, Gim Dodaro. He's gonna
Fucking
be the best.
asshole.
Gim Dodaro's a
Gim.
dick.
Such a
Go
prick.
Gim.
I hate that guy.
GD.
I'm not making a pick on this one.
Yeah, I don't know if I can pick somebody who's going to. I don't know.
I'm picking Lucy. Lucy, say hi.
Meow.
No. Okay.
Meow.
I'm not making a pick this year for this.
If I would
Too
have to be pressed to pick one, I would probably say Boisvert, and that's only if he basically carries over how well he bowled in like the summertime. And like his over like the 20 stringer and then crushed everybody in the 5 stringer and he carried his partner. When did you bowl with him, Tim? And he carried you for like 10 strings?
Who?
Wasn't it you who bowled with him?
Oh, Boisvert?
Boisvert, yeah.
I've never bowled with Boisvert.
Oh, who did he bowl with? And that doubles tournament, and he just Freshie. That's right, Freshie. Yeah, it was the other short guy. He bowled with Freshie, and Boisvert just carried him for like 10 strings.
And he's another one. He bowls at Lita full time, and Lita did all the work that they said they were going to do. Like they sanded down the approaches and the lanes, so that's all going to be in great condition. When the pins come, look, we all know new pins make it hard. They knock the average down. New pins make it hard. But Boisvert's a hell of a bowler. You've seen him crank that ball 1,000,000 RPM from that right angle. Man, I'm telling you, he could even get the new pins like that moving. So if everybody else in the place is averaging, 3-4 pins lower, I wouldn't be surprised to see Boisvert up around 23, 24 on the brand new pins. And then if he's doing that on brand new pins and he comes into a Pro Series event, watch out. Watch out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I'm going to choose an underdog, some Tim Matero guy. No, I'm just kidding.
For fuck's sake.
I'm just kidding. If I had to honestly,
I will hang up.
If I had to honestly choose someone,
bye, Brian.
I would probably go Baker. I would after watching. I've watched him enough over the years to know that after 20 plus years, he is still, one of the top 3 in the game.
I saw him last year at Lita have more fun at Lita. And that's something that a lot of us forget to do. We forget to go in and have a good time while we're in there bowling competitively and professionally. I saw him last year have more fun in a league than I think I've ever seen him in any other league I ever bowled with him. Sunday Pro League or the Friday Pro League.
I am going to say I haven't never bowled league down there, and the only times that I've ever bowled, against Baker, against Surratt or any of these guys is the Worlds and maybe a couple of Pro Series events here and there. So bowling in the Exeter, the Sunday once a month league, is really going to be eye opening for me because I am going to be bowling once a month with these guys, with Baker and Winchell. I think Winchell bowls in it. I think
He hasn't. He
Oh,
subs.
maybe not. Oh, he
randomly,
works.
Yeah.
He has to
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
So some of these guys, obviously, that McGinty and Daly and Holbrook and all these guys. So I'm going to hold on to that comment for a couple of months so I can kind of see people more than just because league is different than tournament.
Very.
So
Yes.
it really is. But anyway, episode 69 next week.
Next
Yes.
week,
We have been
Ripping the
waiting.
Rack roast.
Marky, this is your last opportunity.
Well,
My
Friday.
God,
Screw
we
it up.
have been waiting all summer. No, I got through the last couple weeks and haven't screwed it up. You shut your face up there, all right? Kingliness. No, we have been waiting for this all summer. Next week, here on the YouTube channel and everywhere else that you massage your ears with Ripping the Rack podcast. Sorry, B, I had to steal that line. But next week will be the Ripping the Rack podcast roast of Tim Matero. And this is your last chance. Please, we're going to be doing the show, and then we're going to be editing the final show and putting that out for everybody to see. We need your roasts. We need to put more people in the video. 30 seconds, a minute. Just if you know Tim, it'll be easy. If you don't know Tim, it'll be even easier to make a video and
He's
get it
bald
to
and
be
short, people. Pick on that.
Of all the things that you could pick on me, you pick on the one thing I have no control over.
Absolutely.
Makes
The best
sense.
one.
Absolutely. So please, if you've never seen a roast, go on YouTube, go somewhere, find how roasts are done. It's clever, witty, ball busting, but be prepared because Tim is going to get his moment in the sun later at the rest of us back. And that's the part I'm really looking forward to be honest. I want to hear him roast everybody that just destroyed him. Because then we could just sit back and take it. I can hang up from the call if I want to. I don't even have to listen to it.
Yeah, it doesn't even
We should
matter.
all do that. Actually, right as Tim's about ready to get us,
Oh,
we all just hit the
Jesus.
hang up button. But please, no, make your roast video 30 seconds to a minute, even a couple minutes. Please share it to my Google Drive, MAHKYPINZ, Maki Pins with a Z at Gmail. Please share it to my Google Drive. I'll be doing the editing on the final video. I have a couple already. I'd love a couple more to squeeze in so we can make this an epic encounter for episode 69 of the longest running Candlepin Bowling podcast on the interwebs. So please get us those videos so we can destroy Tim and that other asshole that we know, Gim. I hate that guy. We all hate that guy. We all hate that guy.
I feel like we should be playing Sarah McLachlan's Angels thing as Mark's going, please get your roast in. Please.
For only 5 cents, you
arms
can send me
of the
your roast
angels.
video, and it will do such a justice to the show. But
Thank you, but
please make a video, share it to my Google Drive so that we can have a blasty blast. No hurt feelings.
God,
Everybody's just having
no.
a good time with this.
unless it gets personal, in which case it's going to be hell when I see people in person.
Right. It's not personal. It's a roast. Come and bring it, but just remember, you're going to get it.
Yep. Thank you, buddy. Folks, do not forget 2 things, actually, about your questions and comments and concerns and all that good stuff. We have Tuesday's show where we have lock letters.
Lock letters.
Yes. We would love to get letters. Tell us what you want to hear. Give us your opinions. Ask us questions that you would like to know from
About
4 guys
anything.
who have been in both. Not yet. Not the anything yet. This is Tuesday. All 4 of us have been in bowling a long time, and all 4 of us have been very successful at this a long time. Some of us longer than others, but ask us.
Because you're old.
Because I'm
It's not
old.
my fault you were born 10 years before.
That's right.
Yeah.
Our Friday show, folks. This is the key. Our Friday show. Holy shit, the questions that you can ask us, because it's anything goes, folks. You can ask us anything you want on any subject you want, and we'll answer it for the most part.
As long as it doesn't have those few words that
there's a few words that we
Don't
can't
say them
talk
because we're
about.
almost at the end. We're not starting over.
Right.
We
Yeah.
can't start this one over.
Right.
Last week was easy.
So get us those questions. You want some life advice from us? Fuck it, we'll give you life advice.
Yeah, we'll
We could have a Dear Abby section. For those of you that are too young, Dear Abby was in the paper. It used to be, Dear Abby, my son likes to jack. I can't. I won't even go.
Tim, we don't have time for this. Let's go.
Yeah, well,
So,
wrap it up, Tim.
Get
almost
us your
gonna say
questions,
one of
your
those words
comments,
you can't say.
concerns to rippingtherackpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Instagram at Ripping the Rack Podcast. Brian, where else can they hear us?
Well, Tim, they can wrap their eardrums in satin and lay down and wonderfully relax by listening to us on Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and wherever else you like to relax and listen to your music.
My God, it's NPR.
Oh my God.
What is that?
I have goosebumps from the tone of that. Oh,
Wow.
Wow.
Guys, thank you very much. Don't forget, Tuesday mornings, you got us. Friday mornings, you got us. Sunday evenings, you got Brian and Marky on twitch.tv/Johnny Deathdrop with the Dudes and Belts Chatcast, where they talk Rocky Mountain Pro Wrestling. Give them a listen. It's a good time. For the most part, Marky does a great job with it. Brian, not so much. We'll get to that later. You know. Anywho.
I couldn't agree more, Tim. Thank you.
Yeah. Guys, thank you. Have a great week. Woohoo. Go team.